My dad is a technologist and he understands technology intricately. My dad holds a patent in artificial intelligence. In this video, my dad shares his controversial view on how and why mankind will evolve into machines.
Hello, friends. I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic, a topic that's very dear to me. Some would call this as a doomsday prophecy, but to me, I personally think this is Darwinism at play. The topic that I'm going to talk about is becoming inevitable. I'm sure most of you have heard about this topic. You would have been part of debates around this topic, and this topic is big prominence in the recent years. And the topic is can machines replace humans? Does it not sound scary? For most of us, yes, it does sound scary. Machines replacing humans. Think about a society where you compete with machines. What kind of world would that be? It's really scary. But is it inevitable? I don't know. I personally think in the last couple of decades, we're so dependable on computers. If you look at an average person's life, you just find that the machines intruded so much into our lives. Look at the recent lockdown because of COVID-19. Most of us were stuck in our homes. But many of us were able to carry our daily routines thanks to some of these machines, these amazing machines. These computers helped us to live a life that otherwise we could not have imagined to live, staying within the four walls at our home. But what has led us to this point where we're talking about a non-living thing? Computers are essentially non-living things, replacing humans. Aren't we supposed to be the most intelligent creature this universe has seen? And how can a computer replace us? I think there are two aspects that has brought us to this point. One is the rapid advancement in the field of computer science. If you look at computers today, they're far more capable, far more sophisticated than what was, let's say, a computer of 2 decades ago. Today's computers are capable of processing large volumes of data, solving much more complex problems than what they used to solve a decade ago. So the computers are growing in their ability to solve complex problems. So that's number one. And just to validate, Moore's law states that every couple of years, the processing powers of computers are going to grow exponentially. If you look at the first microcontroller chip to microcontroller chip of today, their processing powers have grown in leaps and bounds. So computers have really become far more sophisticated. They can really solve large complex problems. So that's number one. So now let's look at the second point. I think this is the most important point than the advancements in the field of computer science. And this is about us, man. From the time man was a hunter-gatherer, and once he learned the art of farming, cultivating, once he started to settle on the banks of river, to the modern societies, there are only four types of people. Which I believe there are only four types of people. The first type of people I call is an inventor. Inventor is someone who thinks out of the box. He or she can, you harness the power of the universe and build things. So they are a class of their own. The second group of people, I call them as a manufacturer. What does these manufacturers do? They take the ideas of inventors, bring them to life, they industrialize them, and they bring that idea of the inventor that everyone in the society can use. The third group of people I would call as governors. Not the governor in a technical sense, but these people govern the other three. That's part of the group, and they create rules and laws that kind of govern the whole setup. The fourth is the commoner. I call them as a commoner. It's just most of us. 99% of us are commoners. I believe we are at the mercy of the inventor, the manufacturer, and the governor. If I were to draw this in a graph, I think the inventor, the manufacturer, and the governor are like steep. It almost sounds like a single line, which is very vertical, and then this big bulge of, often horizontal commoners. So I've said most of us are commoners. Here's a cool experiment that you could do. You could call 10 of your friends or maybe more, and you can start to track our lives, what you do from the time you get up till the time you go to bed. And if you start to track them, you can ask them to write in a journal what they do when they get up, or what are the activities that they do, what food they eat, and what TV programs they watch, what are the things that they watch in internet. You basically ask them to write all those things. I'm reasonably confident that you'll be surprised to find that at least 80% of the tasks would match. 80% of this 99% people's tasks, the lives that they lead, will match, and nearly 100% of these people's life will be repetitive in nature. They lead the same life day in, day out again. They do the same thing again and again. So they're almost in this in an infinite loop. So we've seen two very interesting aspects. One is the advancement in the field of computer science, how computers have become more powerful, more sophisticated, more smart. The second point that seen is how less sophisticated our lives have become. I spoke about this experiment, and I'm pretty sure that if you start to compare the lives of commoners across all, more often than not, I think we would probably end up, most of us would end up going through the same routines of life, same motions of life. I don't know if it's good or bad, but if you go and talk to a computer, if you go and ask a computer, hey, what would you do with something that is repeatable, predictable, and in a loop? You know what the computer is going to say? Replaceable. That's what modern day computers are built for. They replace something that's repeatable and predictable. The question that I've said this is a doomsday prophecy. Is it a doomsday prophecy? I don't know whether it's a doomsday prophecy, and I don't know if it's good or bad as well. I'll leave that to your comments. Whether this is good or bad. But all I know that this is inevitable. If you go to this is Darwinism at play. Is what I think. I think the only constant in this universe is change. So this is a change that will happen, and that will happen. So this is a change that will happen, and the best example is you turn the dial of time backwards. You go a billion years ago. I don't know when life first originated as a single-celled organism. You turn maybe a billion years ago at the single-celled amoeba. Life had a choice. Life had a choice just not to mutate. Life could have said, "Oh, I'm happy. I've achieved my aim. I've created we could have just stopped." But life didn't stop there. Life continued to mutate. A billion years later, Homo sapiens, life continues to mutate and evolve. And what does Darwin talks about? Darwin says only the fittest survive. But what does survival mean? Survival is just not to, for the fit to just stay put. To me, Darwinism, survival of the fittest mean only the strongest can advance a species. That's what I think Darwinism talks about. So, people ask me this question, where is the evolution of mankind? I think it's natural for us to evolve into machines. So it's not like machines are going to replace humans. I think we are going to evolve into machines. If you look at a human today, right? Look at our lives today. You walk into a kitchen, you have so many machines. You walk into a living room, you've got so many machines. You walk into your study room, you've got all these machines. What is going to happen tomorrow? All these machines are starting to acquire a mind of their own. They're going to act independently of you. They don't need to wait for your commands. And that future is very nearby. And I think I don't think that is a conflicting future to mankind. I personally think that is Darwinism at play. We are slowly starting to evolve into a machine. This is a very difficult topic to comprehend. Machines are supposedly non-living things. We are living things with flesh and blood. How can we evolve into something non-living thing? It's an interesting topic. I've got my thoughts written down. I'm going to definitely talk about it. Thank you.